Hey everybody, this is a video I realized I completely forgot to make a very long time ago. So this is an Ork Dakkajet Hangar. So it's an aircraft hangar for my orks. It's a very nice train piece. Very happy with this one. I'm proud of this one. It's one of my favorite train pieces. I actually built this back in December 2013, January 2014. In fact, the last video I did on it was January 19th, 2014, which is vlog number 601. And since this is vlog 1100 something, that tells you how long it's been. So I got it done in 2014. I painted it in May of 2015 for a tournament and display table. And so it was out on the display table, won me an award. That table won me an award. And then it's been in a box ever since. And it got a little damaged in the box. Unfortunately, it had some other train pieces sitting on top of it, which wasn't the problem. It was because it had a couple reams of paper on top of the train pieces on top of this. And this was the only one that got squished. So I spent the last day or so doing some repairs up here. And the doors still don't sit flat because this front part here is completely screwed up. And the lid is a little warped as well. So anyway, let's just kind of go over this thing. Let's see, first, if you want to know how I built this and what I did with it, I created a new playlist, Dakkajet Hangar, which I will link in the thing below. So you can watch those previous videos on how I did this, how I built the door hinges, the doors, everything I did with it. Let's just take a quick look around. This is the front, of course. And the back has a door, and this little path here matches up to some other train I have. On this side we have a crow's nest, because what good Orkin building doesn't have somewhere to shoot from. Especially on this one, would have some anti-aircraft protection on top. A ladder getting up. Windows on the side. A nice skylight, so the light inside gets lit up while you're playing if you want it to. And the doors are fully functional. I said normally they used to sit flat. They don't anymore, but they do open. They're hinged. So if you don't want to go back and watch the other videos, the reason why I did them like this is normally on hangars you'll have doors that slide open and the rails will stick out way from either side of the building. But for a train piece that's not very practical. I didn't want the doors to go past the base of the train, so I came up with these trifold doors which fold up, stay completely within the base of the train piece, yet are still big enough to cover the entire front. And one of the videos in the playlist shows how to build these plastic card hinges if you want to watch that one too. So the inside, again, I'll just go over this real quick if you don't want to watch the other videos. So we got a little bit of metal here, the diamond plate here right in front. And then we have the floor. Floor is one of my favorite parts of this. Of course, the roof does come off, if you hadn't noticed. Makes it much easier to play with. The floor looks like concrete. This is actually a Badger Miniature color concrete, I think is what it's actually called. Looks beautiful. This is actually poured plaster of Paris. I poured it exactly like you would pour concrete. Created a mold and just poured it and let it dry, and it looks exactly like poured concrete with that color on there. You got some bubbles, some runs, some impressions in it. You probably won't be able to see those on the camera too well, but it's got some flaws in it, a whole bunch of bubbles which just look great. Yeah, so, and it is the perfect size to fit the Dakkajet model. So anyway, there's a lot more to it. I would go back and watch those other videos if you want to know more about it. I do gotta try and fix the front here so the doors sit flat, but that's not all that important, I guess, because it is an Ork building. It doesn't need to be perfect. So I originally was going to build like some tool boxes and tools and stuff like that. I ended up using all those parts that I had for that on the helicarrier. One of the pieces of the helicarrier terrain is basically tools and stuff brought up on the deck elevator. And so I got a toolbox and a whole bunch of tools and stuff, and an engine lift and whatnot. They were going to go in here, which is why I had all that stuff, but they ended up going for the deck for the helicarrier project instead, which is fine. You know, I could. Now these are all fake lamps here. They're just kind of dangling on here. These are the plastic card, which I cut in a circle and then folded into lamp shades. They do have, you know, fake wires here. They're holding them up. It kind of looks like lights. And the cables are going down into the concrete or plaster. And these bits are actually metal here. These are from a laptop screen lid, laptop lid that the LCD screen bolted to. They look great. Could use some stains on the concrete, maybe. But I'm just so proud of this floor, I just don't want to screw it up, to be honest. Otherwise, I'd make some oil stains on it and stuff. But I just don't want to. I don't want to screw up the pretty poured concrete. So yeah, this is the Ork hangar, which I made 4 years ago, painted 3 years ago, and I just never made a video on the final showcase for it. And this is an absolutely fun piece to build, a fun piece on the table. I mean, it provides great line of sight blocking. I mean, you can put stuff inside of it, not to you can walk through the building very easily. Like leaving the doors open, just taking the lid off, you can just march your models through, no problem. You know, I could. At the time I built this, I was unemployed and really struggling financially. So this was basically all built from stuff I already had lying around. And I really wanted to, instead of just having the fake lights on the edges, I want to do real lights and other stuff. So maybe sometime in the future I'll go back and light this thing up like I wanted to originally. I'm not sure I'm going to, but it is something I will consider. So yeah, Ork Dakkajet Hangar. Absolutely love this terrain piece. It is, it's very obviously very substantial. The base is one. If you for size, the base is exactly a 12 by 12 inch piece of plywood. So that tells you how big it is. Great line of sight blocking. You know, quite the centerpiece of any terrain table. And yeah, I just can't believe I never made a showcase video on it. Something that's been sitting in a box for 3 years, ignored. And here it is. Any questions, let me know, or you can check out the playlist of the build videos. And thanks for watching.